9, still 1 minute.
We can start now.
Okay. Yeah. All of you are ready? Okay.
Yes.
Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa.
Sadhu,
Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu.
I have sent you a paper. You all got it?
Yes.
All of you?
Yes.
Okay, that's some outlines about what is it called. Remember the it's like this. It's very shining. Let me see how in this way better. Okay, it's about Bodhi Sattva. Okay. Today you see our what is it called, the lesson. What day is today? Today is 11? Not.
24.
24
2.
02
2023.
23. Clear?
Yes.
Okay. So today we are going to discuss a bit about this topic. You see, like right? If you can remember this statement, very good. Parihayati araha arahatena. Can you look at this statement, all of you?
Yes.
Spend few minutes. It's no harm, no wasting time. Even if you can spend 5, 10, 20 minutes just by looking at this statement. Parihayati. Remember, I want you to register this statement today, before the end of lesson, right? And this could be very, how to say, the intellectual point. Why new concept, the division among the Buddhist monk or in the teaching of the Buddha took place to that extent, to great extent. This is the main reason. Anyone understands the meaning? That's what I say. Look at you are students of Pali. We have to, because now is a time when you do BA, you cannot depend on the Pali teacher too much. Don't try to depend on Pali teacher. Every word, every alphabet you are asking. So you can roughly figure out what is it. You know the word araha, right? You know no, araha, arahatena, there's the same word. It's a two different vibhakti only cases. Arahatena is a tatya chatuti vibhakti. by or from. From enlightenment. Araha, enlightened one, from enlightenment. So now you need to know only one word. Parihai. Parihani. You know in Sanskrit what is parihani? Hindi ka matlab parihani. That's it. You know Hindi, you try to put your Hindi language here. Sanskrit, if you know a little bit, then you can figure out. Oh. Parihani means downfall, declining, losing. Are you listening now?
Yes.
Parihayati araha arahattena. The arahat may lose arahathood. Arahat may lose arahathood. Arahat may decline, downfall. Enlightened person may lose enlightenment. Reverse back. Retrieve. So this is very challenging statement you have to take. Mamoru, Rahul, take it. This is very challenging statement to the religion of the Buddha. That's why even today, you know, when it comes to Theravada and Mahayana, they would not come to certain agreement. You go to Sri Lanka, Sri Lankan, very typical Buddhist monks are not willing to accept. They are not going to accept. They are not going to accept this statement. Because in Theravada countries, Arhat is a final destination. It's a culmination. You enlighten me. Even Bodhisattva never, what is it called? How to say how the reverse is Bodhisattvahood. Remember I gave you Bodhicitta, right? Thought of enlightenment. Last week did I give you Bodhi Pranidhana Chitta and Bodhi Prasthana Chitta. Last week I told you, never? Never mind. I'll discuss it with you because in that paper I gave you. Why it had happened? All right. Remember, this is very important for you. Even in addition to examination. Why Buddhist monks had this argument? Why in the same religion, Buddhist monks? I mean, it's not that Hindus or Christians or Muslims challenge the Buddha's teaching. All right? If Hindus challenge Arhathood, we know what to do. You are Hindu, I don't care about you. You are Christian, nothing to do with yours. You just mind your business. But this is Buddhist monks. The Buddhist monks themselves challenge Arhathood. So according to what do we see? You know, but now you see two different versions, right? What is it called? Chulla, Vagga, Pali. It's very important. Now you remember. When it comes to Theravadins, the divisions of Buddhist monks, the Panchasatika Kanda, Sattasatika Kanda, Sahasaka. This you could have learned in diploma. Sorry, I wanted to share with you, but I didn't spend much time. I wanted to give you a full background when you have a history of Buddhism. If you had studied history of Buddhism, that paper very well, very easy for me, this paper. Panchasatika. Because first council, there was a disagreement, little bit. Sattasatika, 700 monks. That's major division. Sahasaka, 1,000 monks. Remember in Pataliputta? All those, especially first and second, remember? 1 and 2, Sanghayana, you know, right? Can you remember this? right? Sangayana.
Yes.
First and second Sangayana in Theravada tradition, in Theravada literature discussed in Chulavagga Pali. Chulavagga Pali. But when it comes to Maha Sanghika or Mahayana, they didn't follow a Chulavagga discussion. They didn't follow. So according to them, what happened? Like, take for an example, second council. Second council, they say it is not the 10 points, right? Not 10 points. Not 10 points, right? It's not 10 points. They said what? It is this problem. What is it called? Doubt about Arahat. Question mark. So here today, I want to give you Vasumitra. Remember this name. Vasumitra being considered as a Mahayana literate teacher. He wrote a book, Nikayava Lambana. This is a book, Nikayava Lambana. Right? Vasumitra wrote about, you know the word Nikaya? Can you remember the word Nikaya?
Yes.
What meaning Nikaya?
This is the books or
No.
parts. Nikaya means Majjhim Nikaya. This not belong to that
No. Yeah, I can see. Nikaya mean
group. Group of
Sects.
people.
sects. Nikaya mean groups. That's also true. Diga Nikaya, long group. Majjhima Nikaya, middle group. Anguttara Nikaya, number group. Samyutta Nikaya, what is it? Is there. But Nikaya mean is referring to what is it called? The divisions. And he mentions, right? In Nikaya Abhirambhane, right? A monk Mahadeva. 5 points. What are the 5 points? This is today our lesson. This will be very useful to you. Right? Commit. An Arahat may commit a sin by unconscious temptation. This is Mahadeva's 5 points. He was highlighting that these monks were not asking the, in the Second Buddhist Council, Mamoru, you learn that Singilona Kappa, Dwangula Kappa, Gamantara Kappa, Anumati Kappa, Achinna Kappa, Amatita Kappa, Jalogi Kappa. They were asking salt, they were asking bed sheets, they were asking, what is it called, milk, they were asking toddy. No, 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 no. They say this is not. That's the argument of Chulavagapali. But the reality is not that. They had doubt about Arhat. This is the first doubt. What's the first? No, I want you to learn today. Actually, this is the foundation for your paper. This is a really basement for your paper. You get a good picture. I think why new concept came out, and then so many literature and many countries like Korea, Japan, Tibet, China, they had their own Buddhism. They just highlighted Bodhisattva only. They write their own literature, sutras, and then chanting and all those kind of things. What did happen? This was the main reason. Even Japan, because Japanese Buddhism is a Mahayana Buddhism. Japan is not a Theravada Buddhist country. Only Sri Lanka, Thailand, Myanmar, Cambodia, Laos. These 5 countries who can say that Theravada countries. So they still stick to, what is it called? Sutra Vinaya Abhidhamma, the Tripitakas. But again, when it comes to this is an issue. So that, remember, what was the first debate and argument? Arahat may commit mistake. But it's up to you to believe. Like as I read very widely about Arahat, it's a different scene. I'm not going to discuss about it, but our topic is the origin of Mahayana. When we say the word Mahayana, it's actually Bodhisattvayana. Mahayana means, if I give you the 2 words, right? What is it called? Shravakayana versus Bodhisattvayana. That's it. That's a problem. That's what division and evolution. That's called even development of Buddhism. But to me, I have a different view, but of course, certain things, I mean, still I can't accept it, but it's a different scenario. But no harm of promotion of the Bodhisattva concept, because it is, even I told you that in Pali literature, we have in Digha Nikaya, we have in Majjhima Nikaya the word Bodhisattva mentioned, but not to that extent illustrated or developed in Pali literature. So now what happened? So this is very something for you to see. It's, very challenging thing. That means the Arhat, if you look at this, the Arhathood, the Shravaka is not enlightened. The Arhat is not enlightened because he may still make a mistake. But they mention he may still by unconscious temptation. But another day I have a discussion with you when you finish exam. I'll give you my answer to this because this is not true. But people believe in it. People believe in it. Okay? Number 2. Arhat may have doubts. Arhat may have doubts, right? On matters of doctrine like Buddha, Dhamma, you are enlightened, you are Arhat, but you still may have, what is it called, some problems. What is it called? Over the doctrine, the teaching of the Buddha. Some questions. I don't believe this. I don't believe this. I don't think this is teaching. I don't think this is teaching. Clear? First one, Arhat may commit sin. Second one, Arhat he may have doubt. He may have doubt about what is it called, the teaching of the Buddha. Then attain Arhat without a teacher. You can, but normally you need the teacher to guide. Right? Number 4. One minute, I miss one. Is number 2, What is number 2? Quite interesting. One maybe an Arahat and not. You can put it as number 2, or it doesn't matter. I missed it. One me and Arahat, but no, not it. I'm enlightened, but I don't know I'm enlightened. So that's why I just put a question mark for you, right? Right, Mamoru, you are enlightened, but you don't know you are enlightened. Very interesting. So how? Rahul, are you enlightened?
I am trying for it. Sorry.
You're very close to it and drop over, like the first one you see, like go up and collapse. Yes. Is it? Do you feel that you are enlightened? No.
No.
No, Really, Sometimes when you meditate, how do you feel? You're like very close to Himalaya mountain. Then suddenly, when you wake up, you are not Himalaya, you are just right in Tokyo on the bed, right? Not in Himalaya mountain, right? So how is feel? So this is what? These are question marks. You are enlightened, but you don't know. But it's because that's what I want to know. I'm not going to discuss about it. I mean, but it's good to discuss by yourself that, wow, is it true? That means, otherwise you may don't trust. Yeah, what is enlightenment? I become enlightened. I also don't know I'm enlightened or not. So I'm enlightened, but I still make mistakes. What is that? I don't want that. Better stay like this. Right? And I have doubt about. So remember, in my first discussion, I brought the certain things here, right? Can you remember? Sati, Devadatta, right? Sati, the monk who had doubt about consciousness, the moving. And some monks, they had doubt about what is it called existence and so on. Then the third one, okay, you can just be like this way. And the last one, one may attain perfection by meditating, with such exclamation, as how sad, how sad, how sad, how sad. So you continue that is thinking, right? I mean, exclamation mean like, it's like always like the utterance by mind, utterance by mind. So you can be enlightened by that, which is again question mark in Buddhism. I have the answer to all the five. They are not true. It's not that because I'm a Theravada monk or anything. No. If we read carefully, the path of enlightenment, path of purification, Visuddhi Magga, Vimutti Magga, Arhatha Magga, 4 stages of emancipation, these are invalid. The reason had given in what happened, because the second Buddhist Sanghayana, after the, right, second Buddhist Sanghayana, the Mahasangika group, they are all, what is it called, unenlightened. And those who were, who were expelled by Virawadin. Right? How many of them? Is it right? 12,000. 12,000 monks. And then, have you got it now? Can you go through these 5? It's very interesting. This is one of the groups. Vajiputtaka. Vajiputtaka means they have this, what is it called? Very doubt about Arahat. Vajiputtakas. Right? There were some others, some other groups, right? What is it called? Sabbhativadi, they had different doubt, right? Likewise, because what is it called? They had different doubts about Arahat. So this had led to what is it called? Origin of Mahasangika. This had led to origin of Mahasangika. Take this, it's very important. Can you remember, right? Remember this. And remember Vasumitra in his book Nikaya Avalambana, Mahadeva. You know, the Mahadeva is one of the leading monk of Mahasangika group. So this had led to what is it called? Origin of new concept. So that was a very challenging thing. That was very challenging thing. Right? And when it comes to especially Uggala Panyati, oh sorry, Katavattupakarana. Can you remember this one? Who wrote this? Who is the author? You see, you remember what?
Basically, now I forget, but this is the chief of third Buddha Sangiti.
Who is there? Arahanta Tera,
Ah,
Moggali,
Mokariputta Tissa. Tero.
yeah, Moggali Puttatissa. You must, you don't know what you are doing whole week, never think anything like that. Eat sasi, look at sakura, and then, right? Drink sake, or forget. Must remember, it's very important because when it comes to Katavattupakarana, it's a peak. That was a real challenge to Bhajavadi. Real challenge to Bhajavadi. It's not only that, because this doubt, even in the, remember that we say that 7 out of Mahasangikas, 11 out of Visevravadi, they themselves also, Sevravadi group, broken group, they had a doubt about Sotapatti. Some say Sotapatti, what retrogress or reverse. Some say Arahat may reverse, Arahat may lose Arahathood with unconscious temptation. These are the question marks. Sometimes please remember, you know why? If you really want to hold on to the actual Buddhism, the true Buddhism, you need to know this. These are the questions coming in. So we need to know both. We need to know both sides. This is very, very important. So this is what is that called? This had led to how to say. Can we remember? Now please remember, because beginning from I gave you, I think 1-2 weeks back or last week, I gave you what is it called? Kosambi institution and Devadatta schism. These two. Kosambi and Devadatta. But those incidents were just the smaller incidents within. But this is very challenging. The challenge Arhathood mean what? Wow. It is something like you have a prime minister, you challenge prime minister, you are a liar, you are a thief, you are a this, you are that, you are not, then finish. The whole structure finish. Because when you look at the Arhathood, it's not a something personal thing. Right? It is actually the goal in our religion. If the goal is challenge, what else? So you need to prepare. That's what very, very important thing. Right? Let me, share with you a little bit about Mahasangika now. Certain outlines about Mahasangika. Right? So they had the main branch. Right? Eka Vyavaharika Chaitiyavadi. You know, quite interesting thing. Chaitya mean what? What is Chaitya?
Stup.
Yes, pagoda. They are the one emphasized erection of pagodas, doing offering to pagodas. You see Keiko, right? Hiroko, you always pagoda behind, right? See, you are Chaitiyavadi, right? See Hiroko, huh? See Hiroko? Chaitiyavadi, got pagoda behind. Remember, last week I gave you some different, compare Theravada with Mahayana. Theravada, ethical and historical. Mahayana, religious and what?
Metaphysical.
Metaphysical. Religious. You know, building pagoda, building Buddha statue, planting of Bodhi trees, this big puja, these big elaborations and big shrines. All those influence of this 100 years after the Buddha's passing away. The initially, that's why even Devadatta, the Thera Devadatta, he wanted to have very simple. Monks must be forest dwellers, they must be dwellers under the tree, they must live on begging food, they must wear Pansakuliga Chivara, they cannot take meat and fish. That actually to me He wanted to maintain that authentic version of the Buddhism. Authentic version. But evolution. That's why today you look at in Japan, so many temples, big temples in Sri Lanka, big pagodas, big bodhi trees, big statues, and all those kind of things. It's religious. So this is what what is it called? Evolution, right? So and what did they do? This is major thing. They made alteration to Sutra and Vinaya Pitaka. This is the, what is it called? You have to see the dangerous movement. Now you have to remember one good thing. Okay, this is where your previous Dhamma knowledge very, very vital. Because the Buddha, just for you to what enrich with a little bit answer, just before passing away, there were many monks around the Buddha, and the Buddha addressed them, asked them, do you want to amend? Do you want to alter any simple precept, but not the major one? Say, do you feel any difficulty, any, right? You want to change any precept? So the monks kept quiet. So what did the Buddha say? Let that be. No more changes. No more changes. Dhammocha vinayocha desito. The Dharma and the Vinaya taught by me, that's it. The Mahasanghikas, what did they do? 100 years after the passing away of the Buddha, they come out with their own sutras and their own Vinayas. They added, of course, they didn't change everything, but they added certain Vinaya rules into their books. Also some sutras. Right? They didn't include. They did not include Jataka, right? And Abhidhamma Pakarana, Dhamma Sangani Vibhanga, Dhatu Katha, the 7 books. They did not include those texts, right? They added new sutras, telling that this is teaching of the Buddha. Look at this, very interesting. They dropped some, added some. So that became Mahasangika teaching. Mahasangika teaching, not the Mahabuddha teaching. That's what happened even today. When you look at the teaching of the Buddha, right? Country to country people, right? Right? Mahasangika, they have their own. Complete canon. Their own canon, their own Tripitaka. You know, these are in southern part of, I mean, not exactly, you know, like Hyderabad, that area. Recently, remember that Andhra Pradesh, right? This is in Andhra Pradesh, you know, Amaravati. It's good to remember. You know, that recently Singapore and Indian government, they started developing Amaravati. So, and Nagarjuna Konda, especially in, I mean, somewhere to the, how to say, the southern part of India, now Andhra Pradesh. But do you know, Amaravati is a very, very huge monuments are there, Buddhist monuments. And then, according to what is it called, Amaravati and Nagarjuna Konda, is inscriptions, right? So they mentioned about it, right? They speak about Mahasangika nuns, Vinayadhara, right? You know the Bhikkhuni Vinaya, very important. If you can remember here, the disciplinary code of the nuns, you know, especially China. China, right? You know, today China has a Bhikkhuni order. Sri Lanka, we don't have. In Sri Lanka, we don't have Theravada nuns. Right? When we say Upasampada. Upasampada means higher ordination. higher ordination. We do not have Theravada nuns in the world. We only have 10 preceptors. We call just renounced, but novice nuns, right? Theravada nuns, Upasampada, right? Right? Only have some Mary's novice. So Hiroko, Keiko, you want to be nuns, only can be novice nuns. No top nuns, eh? Only medium nuns, right? That's, but Mahasangika, they have full Vinaya books of nuns, but they have picked up from different groups, but compiled. That became very popular in China when they established, but of course the initial establishment was done from Sri Lanka. The nuns order established by Devasara, the Bhikkhuni, went from Sri Lanka in 8th century AD with 20 nuns to China. And she established, but eventually they embrace what is it called Mahasangika Vinaya. Quite similar, like that's why the nuns in how to say the China, they can't get married. They have a similar kind of thing, but with extra. That's why, do you know Mahasangika Vinaya? How many precepts are there for the nuns? Bhikkhuni Vinaya? Don't know. 500.
We have one more.
Vinaya rules. 500 Vinaya rules. Only Theravada nuns. Yes. Hiroko become a nun, 500 precepts. Because you are Japanese Mahayana, right? You come to Sri Lanka with 200 less than easy, right? 311. Clear? If you can remember, Yuan Chuan, who travels in 6th century AD, right? That's 1000 years after the Buddha's passing away, right? So he records that, right? Mahasangika had Sutra, Vinaya, Abhidhamma, Dharani, and like, sorry, Kuddaka, like miscellaneous. Remember, Sutra, Vinaya, Abhidharma, Dharani, and Kuddaka, like miscellaneous. Sutra, Vinaya, Abhidharma, Dharani. This is Dharani is the one you see the mantra and tantra, mantrayana, tantrayana, right? Keiko no mantra, you know mantra? Om Rahul, 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 Rahul. Swaha. Then Rahul no more. Gone. Om Rahul Gate 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 Parasangate Diri Duri Duru Duru Diri Siri Suru 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 Suru. Gone. Dharan. Right? So that's how, these two aspects, especially Sutra, Vinaya, and Abhidhamma, yes. But again, their own sutras. Some their own sutras. They include that, but the Buddha had taught plus their own. Devolution. Clear? So this is, remember that Farsian, and then these words, these references are very important because especially Yuan Chuan and Farsian, these two venerables report about the development of Mahasangika school, very, very important because they travel from northern India to southern India, to Patna. Parsian, of course, went very big ground. Hyun San, the Yuan Chuan mean Hyun San. So they wrote a very good article. I mean, that's what he mentioned about that when he come to Central Asia, side by side. Very big temple, Mahasangika temple, Sarvastivadi temple, Theravada temples. The king is supporting Theravada, the queen is supporting Mahasangika, like that. It's a very, very vital report, right? Just like the, right? Uh, Abhidhamma, they had only 5 texts, not 7, right? Abhidhamma, so only 5 texts. Clear? Mahasangika. Five Vijnanas. Liable. This is Mahasangika view. Can you go through this? Very important. Before we conclude, all this, you have in the paper in the computer, all of you, Mamoru.
Yes.
Can you go through from beginning? It's very important. It's even for the dharma. So today then you will not see. Believed in 5 vijnanas. One can eliminate suffering and obtain nibbana. Sotapanna, but this is Mahasangikas. They say Sotapanna means reverse, but not Arahat. But once you go Sotapanna, Sagadagama, and Agama, Arahat, you would not. But in among them, as I told you earlier, some other groups, right? They had doubt that they may say even Arahat may. Some say Sotapanna, some say Arahat. So what? And the original nature of the mind is pure. That is there. And this is very important. So, you know, this is in Buddhism, it is called very important topic. Antara Bhava. A lot of scholarly discussion about it. Antara Bhava, intermediate state of living being. I die now. It's 8 o'clock, Singapore time. You are 9 o'clock. How long will it take for me to be reborn? What's the gap? So different belief. Chinese believe 49 days. Mamoru, what's the Japanese belief? Japanese?
Not so sure, but we have 49 days.
Yes, you also have 49 days. Sri Lankans basically we have 7 days. That's why the first 7 days. Hindus, they have 21 days. That's why on 21 days they do Atma Shanti Puja, or 16 days. So the different people have Antarabhav, intermediate. How long is the duration? So this is very different. It's very challenging. And this is one of the problems, you know, Antarabhav. The Buddhist groups divided. Can you go through a little bit? Right? If you go from below, these are, they believed in vijnanas, and then Sotapanna. But then after that and before rebirth, what is it called? Antarabhava. And here you see that what development has taken place. The Vinaya Pitaka, Sutra Pitaka, Abhidhamma Pitaka. What did they drop? What did they added? Right? Remember? Right? Sutra, Vinaya, Abhidhamma, Dharani, Kuttaka, miscellaneous, 5 parts. But in early Buddhism, Theravada Buddhism, only 3. Sutra, Vinaya, Abhidhamma, that's it. But here they had Dharani and miscellaneous, some other sayings. And remember the Amaravati, Nagarjuna Konda, and Fasian and Yuan Chuan's report. And the 5 doubts, 5 points. Arhat may commit sin with unconscious temptation, and you are Arhat but don't know. And Arhat can have doubt about doctrine, and one can attain Arhat without a teacher. And meditation, sad, or cannot. I mean, these are the so you get ready for it. Like one question, like what is it called? Points, the elements during lifetime of the Buddha, and then the division of Mahasangika. And what is Mahasangika? And why they have introduced Bodhisattvayana. From next Friday onwards, we will continue to learn about Bodhisattva. I gave you some introductory words to the word Bodhisattva. Then we'll discuss a bit about Bodhisattva. Okay? Okay. Thanks, and wish you all health, wealth, protection, peace, happiness. Japan, Singapore, Sri Lanka, India, we our countries, the world, in our relationship. May all the living beings be well. Yang kinchi vittam idhava hurangva saggi suvayang tanang panitang nano samam adhi tathagatina idam pibuddhi ratanang panitang etena saccena suvatti hotu.
Sadhu,
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 sadhu.
sadhu.
Thanks, eh?
Thank you very much,
Bante.
Thank you very much, Bhante.
Anjani will send you, eh?
Yes.
Okay. Stop here. Stop share. Leave me.